Round 7 of the National Rugby League, the Warriors and the Broncos go Media Stadium for the Denan Kemp Cup. Sold out. That's how big the Denan Kemp Cup. You've got to be careful saying that. Go Media Stadium.
Denan Kemp Cup.
The Denan Kemp Cup. And, the first time that Reece Walsh will return, Denan.
Yeah, back to the Warriors. Really, you look at the Broncos, and I tell you what, Michael Maguire must just be... Look, I think he's relaxed because he's got a really good squad at the moment. So he's like, you know what, I've been at a big club with a bloody good squad with heaps of talent. But I'm sure you can see him just each week after week going, boys, can you just play the way I ask you to play?
Yeah.
Because they're just so stuck in the mode of let's just spin it out of our own end, and it's a second tackle. We'll try and score in the corner. We'll get taken out. We'll complete it 60% or 65%. And you can just see Michael Maguire going, mate, the answer is right there in front of us, boys. Just get used to playing boring footy.
Yep.
At least for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
The last 20 minutes,
yep.
You'll score 1,000,000 points. You go back to the round 1 game. What did they do? They played super boring footy against the Roosters and absolutely spanked them in the end.
Yep.
And so I just look at the Broncos. They've just got to fall in love with boring footy.
Yep.
The Warriors, on the other hand, I think they deserve a lot of credit for the fact that they actually haven't played that well, but they're in the top 8.
Yep.
Whereas I feel like the Warriors last year, when they didn't play well, they played bad and got beaten well. And so I think they deserve a lot of credit for just finding ways to win games of rugby league because they got a new halves pairing. Fisher's now injured. They've lost guys like Tohu Harris, Adam Fanua-Blake, Sean Johnson. If any team,
those 3 alone.
Yes, that's what I mean. And they're in the top 8 right now.
Yep.
I don't think they're getting enough credit, the Warriors, for how well they've started the season, even though they haven't set the world alight with the style of footy they're playing.
Traditionally, the Denan Kemp Cup, it has been good for the Warriors. Last 10 games, 7 wins for the Warriors, 3 for the Broncos. The 3 Broncos wins, they just limped in. Biggest margin by 9 points. But I said this to Fletch, Kempy, at the moment, the Warriors, and Coach Webb's has got a lot to deal with. He is under siege for hyphens. They lost AFB. They don't have RTS. They don't have CNK. DWZ is not there. JFH is not there. They are really under siege for hyphens at the moment.
Mate, they're struggling for hyphens, but I think they'll pull through.
They'll pull through. TPT. Okay, we'll see how that goes. All right. Just on this too, by the way, this news comes to hand. Jett Cleary has been named to make his New South Wales Cup debut this weekend, playing halfback, so all the best to him. Reece Walsh, not forgetting, played 38 games there for the Warriors, so you sort of forget about that. And the Warriors have the worst points difference of the top 8 teams, minus 20. Not so bad, really, when you think about that. Roosters and the Panthers, Allianz Stadium, the SEN League call team, Brenton Speed, Brett Kamali, Timmy Manor. BK's got a massive weekend. 3 calls he has over the weekend. SEN has a massive week. So we're really dialing things up in 2025. The Panthers, who were looking for 5 straight premierships, 6 straight grand finals, are staring down the barrel, Denan Kemp, of 6 straight losses.
Yeah, look, the Panthers, I feel sorry for them because it's truly one of those situations where you could make the argument it's not their fault.
Yep.
But very rarely in rugby league ever do you look at a team and you go, you know what? It's not your fault you're not playing the best footy. Whereas this is even a team that wins a premiership, the next year you still should be playing good footy. It's just, 1 grand final, you should still be in the mix. 5 grand finals, 4 premierships, being absolutely raided by other teams.
Raided.
Now, a lot of people focus on the top 17 that's left the club, like
Correct.
your Fisher Harris, your Luais, your Crichtons, your Burtons, your Appy Coruscaws, your Kickows. The list goes on, the Kate Wells.
Yep.
But it's actually the underneath that a lot of other clubs have rated that people don't know about. So what clubs are doing right now, or at least since that first year when they went on that run, they're just going straight into their juniors around 15, 16-year-old. This is how bittersweet it is for the Panthers.
Yep.
So last weekend, it is essentially the nail in the coffin for their top 4 hopes, essentially. Unless they go on a 15-game win streak, but I just don't think they will. Guess who did it? Katoa, their own junior.
Yes.
And so they've got to sit there and watch their own junior that would have actually been pairing Cleary in this game.
Yep.
Because you look at how old he is, he's 22, so they would have been timing him for when Luai leaves to partner Cleary.
Correct.
But the Dolphins came in and said, here's hundreds of thousands of dollars to start in first grade when you're 18 years old.
Yep.
How can you say no to that? And so I just look at it. I think, look, if Penrith Panthers can scrape into the 8 this year, that's a win for me from him. I think that is good enough. I still think that they could click into gear and do something special. But if they finish in the 8, I think that's totally fine with you when you look at what they've done over the last 5 years.
I think you're right. And if you think back to that pipeline you're talking about, So taking away the real crux of that team with the Yos and the Clearys and those types, mate, they had Tungor sitting in the wings, they had Taruva sitting in the wings, Lindsay Smith coming through, Taylor May coming through, Mitch Kenny coming through. They were just queued up, pushing in on that conveyor belt. So you make a very good point. This is a big game. This is a really, really big game. Roosters and the Panthers, the loser of this, you can start booking your trip to Bali or wherever it is you go for Mad Monday in August or early September. This is all she wrote.
Oh, mate, the Roosters, what a strange situation they find themselves in. They play 3 games and you're sitting there going, mate, they're done. And then they go out and do the Penrith Panthers and the Broncos. And you're just like, okay, maybe there's some life there.
Yeah.
I thought the 7 for them was really good. But I think we're going to head to a break. But, mate, huge game.
Thanks for watching. For more great content, subscribe to SEN League, your home of the greatest game of all.